Tired of spending so much time making shoeboxes? Are the 3x10 wood block coffins of yore just too cumbersome for you? Do you hate having to move your mouse over to craft walls? Well, the dug-in house may be for you. Dug-in houses are small, precisely excavated holes in the ground made in such a way to create a compact, cheap NPC house. This type of construction may seem quite strange and useless at first glance, but they are quite useful in that they excel in a singular important purpose: cost reduction.
Budget cuts.
Dug-in houses are much cheaper and easier to construct than even the simplest and bodgiest free-floating structures. This is, of course, because you don't need to build the frame of your house, since it comes alongside the construction. If you're really cheap, you can also construct these houses in such a way that they don't even require walls to be valid. This means you don't need to remove the natural dirt walls when building your housing, which saves you yet more time. How efficient. So, how do you make these dug-in houses? Well, on the surface of it, it's quite simple. Just dig. But there are some things you want to remember just so you make your houses as efficiently as possible. We'll be going over these now. Start your house by digging a 3x5 hole in the ground, like this. This is where the NPC itself will hang out, so if you want to make these houses accessible via a central column or something, that's nice to know. In this hole, you should place down the workbench and table. Now, here's the fun part: expansion. The main issue with the house right now is that it's simply too small, so let's make it bigger. We'll do this most efficiently by digging outwards in a diagonal nature like this. Why do this? Well, there are two reasons. First, diagonal connections like this don't break the contiguous nature of the house, meaning it can all stay as one house. And second, they add the most frame blocks per tile dug out. Houses' minimum size requirements are determined by their area, which must be at least 60 tiles. However, this area includes the house's frame, not just internal area. This means digging out these diagonals, which give us the most frame blocks per area dug, is the most efficient way to increase the, quote, size of the house. Basically, keep digging out diagonals until the checker no longer says the house is too small. The next step is background walls. You can either remove the natural walls like normal with a hammer, then fill them in, or opt for a wall-less design, which is what I would probably do. However, wall-less designs, although much more convenient, have the issue where NPCs do not move into houses without walls, so maybe make one house with walls or something. If you want to make a walled house, just do that, but to make a dug-in house without needing to replace the walls, simply make sure there are no gaps wider than 4 blocks in your house. That's it. The game only dings you for missing walls if a gap is at least 5 blocks wide, so constructing a house with gaps that are 4 blocks or less allows you to nullify the wall check. Assuming you dug all your diagonals from the corners, your house should already be wall-less by design, so you should be fine. Lastly, to finish the house up, slap in a light source, which can go anywhere except the 3x3 square next to the furniture, and close up the top with blocks. Ideally, non-dirt to prevent vine growth from invalidating the house. Make sure at least one of these blocks is a platform, as that will count as the house's door. And now, bam! You got a valid house. That explanation might have been rather slow, but if you get the hang of it, they're very quick and convenient to make, especially if you're short on wood. It means you can easily make a suitable house in well under a minute with just a copper pickaxe, a torch, 14 wood, and quite literally -20 dirt. It's definitely a great method for a quick and sloppy house for a pylon, impromptu town, or something like that. I hope some of you find this useful. Hello, thanks for watching yet another one of Terra's housing videos. Personally, I just really like the idea of making the most budget housing possible. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed, since a quarter of you actually are. Either way though, thanks for tuning in. Good day and goodbye, and see you next fortnight.